Before I start this commentary, I have no sympathy for pedophiles. I don't think that they're okay. I think they need help, and I think they need to be locked away, institutionalized, and get their help so that they don't hurt or ruin children's lives. I am an adult. I have a daughter of my own. I do not think pedophilia is okay. Having said that, there is a problem with pedophiles on YouTube, in children-oriented games, things like that. So what's been happening? Well, individuals like Yummy Mash, Lion Maker Studios, and several others, as you guys have been aware of, have been getting flack from Keemstar and exposed as being quote-unquote pedophiles. Now, you can't sit here and go throwing around these accusations without being accurate. Otherwise, those individuals can sue you. If you claim someone is a pedophile and it gets big and it's a news story and people find out about it, despite being innocent, your life is over. You're never going to be able to be the face of anything because people will instantly think and say, hey, aren't you that guy that was accused of being a pedophile? And it turns them off greatly because most normal people are not interested in that shit. It's not something you want. But having said that, I would like to discuss this and talk about this a little bit. First off, I place the blame squarely on the pedophiles for acting on their feelings. You can have those thoughts and not act on those feelings and go get yourself help. You can say, you know, you need help and you can go get it. You won't have to act on those thoughts. If the urges are so strong that they are pulling you and forcing you to do that, then you definitely need to be institutionalized. You know, it's the same way with murderers. You know, some people out there, they have something wrong with their head and they feel like they want to murder constantly. But those individuals may have sought help. Those individuals may have been taking meds and things like that, and they're productive members of society. That doesn't mean they don't still think those thoughts, have those feelings, have those urges. They just don't act on it because it's not societal acceptable. It isn't acceptable to just go out in the street and start murdering people and just say, hey, walk on back home. Da da da. Well, I felt like murdering someone, so I la da 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 da. That's not an acceptable behavior, you know. So pedophilia is something that can be gotten away with a lot easier because it is the user who is attacking the individual over multiple reasons. A lot of pedophiles feel the attraction and the need for power, and not necessarily to have sex with a child, but to gain the power over the child, the innocence, the learning, things like that. And it's very weird. I learned a lot of this stuff because I used to watch a lot of To Catch a Predator, and I would strongly suggest you guys check that out. That's a good show. It's funny, they're comical, but they do give insights to this stuff, and it's good for parents. So why am I talking about these like Minecraft YouTubers and things like that? Well, because Minecraft is kind of a gateway into adult gaming, because Minecraft is ages E for everyone. It's not a child's game, despite what everyone might say. It's just a game. They're just blocks. It's not like they're happy smiling flowers, you know. It's not like Yoshi's Island for the Super NES, my god, right? But it is just a game. And since a lot of children like to play it, it is a game that kind of attracts that type of person. It will attract individuals who are looking to take advantage of people. Whether they are looking to take advantage of them financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, is to be said based upon the individual's actions. But when you have these large YouTubers out there doing this shit, going behind their girlfriends' wives' backs, texting and chatting with these young women, they do it because it makes them feel good. It makes them feel appreciated that they are helping someone. They are doing something with their lives, and it makes them feel like that they're gaining something. You know, when you have someone confide in you, you're to that relationship level, obviously things are going to start getting tense and things are going to start getting big and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm not saying that all these individuals are pedophiles. They need to go to court. They need to go to a court of law and be convicted of that before people start swinging around accusations like that. Even if you have the evidence, you never know. Evidence can be skewed, Photoshop, things like that. And I understand that people can speak out. But again, you have to understand, what if you were convicted of pedophilia? And you probably have the knee-jerk reaction, oh my god, I'm not a pedophile, oh my god. But what if somebody charged you with that crime, said, hey, I saw you with a little girl, I think you're a pedophile. And everyone started saying, yeah, he's a pedophile, and they brought up fake evidence, false evidence, you would be losing your mind saying, that's fake, that's fraud, they're setting me up and stuff like that. And I understand that, I get that, but you need to get that too, and you need to understand that we live in America. If you're listening to me, if you live in another country with similar laws, you need to adhere to the fact that you're innocent until proven guilty. So when these individuals are proven guilty, they will spend time in prison. They will probably die in America. Pedophiles don't last long in prison. So these guys, I've seen some of the ones that were accused of being pedophiles, like they look young, they look slim, they don't look muscular, they don't look like they could make it in prison. They don't have the build of a prisoner. And I have talked to many prisoners, I've known prisoners in my life, and they don't fuck around, man. They kill pedophiles in prison. They shank them with homemade shanks. So what is the takeaway from all of this, though? Well, as a parent, I don't let my daughter get on the mic with random ass people. I don't let my daughter watch Minecraft YouTubers without being around. She watches it on the Wii U for me, and that way there is no subscribing, there is no sending messages, there is no commenting, despite maybe she wants to do that, maybe she doesn't, but that prevents that, and yet she still gets to do that stuff. She still gets to watch those individuals without potentially being harmed or corrupted. And when she gets onto Xbox and she plays Minecraft with people, I'm there watching her reactions, listening in on the conversation here and there, and making sure that bullshit isn't happening. But then again, if you're careful and you're cautious as a parent of who your young child is hanging out with, no, I said child, not teenager, your child is hanging out with, this shit isn't going to happen. On top of that, if there are 14-year-olds being molested or groped or coaxed into getting into a relationship with an older man, 14 is pretty young, but there's to be some blame to be had on that end also. 14-year-olds know they aren't supposed to be in relationships with anyone above the age of 18, and generally speaking, you really shouldn't be in a relationship above your own age when you're at that age. Yeah, you can go a year or two above it, but if you keep that relationship and that individual graduates, that basically makes them a pedophile or a statutory rapist. Say you're a 15-year-old and you have a relationship with an 18-year-old who just turned 18, it's his senior year, now he's a statutory rapist if he's having sex with a 15-year-old. And that's the tricky thing about this country, because those parents have to press the charges, and if they don't like the boyfriend, they'll press the charges, and it'll just get out of hand. And that is why I feel that pedophiles need mental health, they need counseling, it needs to be recognized as a serious mental health issue, just like schizophrenia, just like feeling like killing people, just like many of the other mental illnesses. It is fucked up to be attracted to children. It is fucked up to be attracted to young children. I mean, god damn, fucking what, man? You know, there's a difference between wanting someone young, wanting an 18-year-old, but I cannot even fathom a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, or 15-year-old. I can't. It's fucked up, man. It's so fucked up. Even if you're fucking 24 or 25, dude, you can't just go after maybe a 17-year-old that is going to be graduating or an 18-year-old that is going to be graduating. It's pretty legal in almost every state to date a 17-year-old if you're above the age of 18, or an 18-year-old. I mean, again, granted, it depends on if the parents want to do anything about it, but like, come the fuck on, man. Are you seriously saying to me, as a big YouTuber, as a representative of your community, that you think it's a-okay to be doing this bullshit? So yeah, parents, you need to keep a lookout for your children, and you only have yourself to blame, because at the very end, you can't teach people not to rob. You can't just teach men not to rape. It doesn't work that way. People do whatever the fuck they want to do. That's why we have police officers to prevent that shit and enforce laws, you know? In the end, you can't do that stuff. You need to teach your children to be cautious, and then the final defense is you. How would you feel if your child got molested? What would you do? You can't ever take that back. You can't ever change that. If a man sends your 14-year-old daughter a giant dick pic and shows you his penis and invites her out for lunch and dinner and takes her out and fucks her. You can't ever take that back. You can't take that fucking bullshit back. So, as a parent, you need to be involved. You need to make sure that that goddamn bullshit isn't fucking happening. I'm sorry. You could sit here and it's, oh, well, they shouldn't have done that. They're fucked up for doing it. Yeah, the fuck they are, and they're gonna go to prison, but now you can't fucking take that shit back ever again. If your child gets molested and you had little to no involvement to prevent that, you will always feel guilty of that forever. So, as an individual, as a parent, I feel the need to defend my daughter against child molesters. Just put simply, because I don't want her to be scarred for life. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this commentary was enough talking about these large YouTubers in the gaming community that are taking advantage of these young children. Please remember, guys, it's a sickness. It's a mental disorder. It is fucked up. Even if they don't call it that, even if science doesn't call it that, even if there's people out there who says, take them out and get them shot, I feel that they should be locked away in a pen and studied, and maybe if they were studied and treated in such a way, they could be worked with. There could be a drug to come out to suppress that feeling, to cure this syndrome, this sickness, this desire. You know, you could always stop the action, but you might not ever be able to stop the feeling, the desires, the sickness in the head. So it really just depends on the individual and whether or not they are going to actually act on how they feel. So I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. I hope this commentary was enlightening, illuminating on how I feel about pedophilia. I think it's fucked up. I think they should be locked up, period. And I hope that they get the mental health that they need. Thanks for watching my video and making it to the end. And would you please consider subscribing to my channel? By subscribing to my channel, you are not only supporting me, but also joining a community that is against stereotypes, lies, and fraud in gaming. I work my hardest to inform my subscribers of important stories that might affect them. From new games to important updates, the Mavericks are always informed. If you are tired of political correctness ruining your gaming experience, then join my rebellion, because PC isn't for me. And if it isn't for you either, consider yourself a friend of the Mavericks. Subscribe today and you'll be in good hands. Mavericks unite, and together we can keep gaming from falling prey to the people that would not only censor it, but also destroy it.